forgiveness. The reaper is rising, and you're on the checklist. You can run, but you cannot hide. Your ending was close to it. Death is on your side. Your decision, your life has made it hard for you to survive. Count your chick hands, accept your losses. You are the reason for the nails in your coffin. Shame, shame, I know your name.
There is Bruce Kulick, former KISS guitar player, current Grand Funk Railroad guitar player, and all-around nice guy. Today, we are going to talk about his upcoming performance of Kiss Alive 3 at the KISS Cancer Goodbye Fundraiser. Today on Podcast Rock City Live. What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City, and with me this week is Sonny Hollywood Pooney.
What's up, people? We got Bruce. Yes,
we got Bruce here. Right down there, that's the legend Joey Cassata.
Boo.
Can we please skip the pony introduction today? We have Bruce. His time is limited.
All we need.
All
well,
right,
I have to say, this is kind of like hanging out with a bunch of, well, we have like the three atop, okay? Incredible collectors. I see these like, it's like, is there any other part of your house that doesn't have KISS merchandise all over it?
Nope.
Yes.
All over it.
And mine,
All over it. There you go.
all
All
over
right.
I
Joey,
have
you know those kind of people, right?
Oh,
But I
yes.
feel very at home with them. I do. I have quite a collection here too. But I try to keep it more to, this room has the hybrid of awards and stuff, the other room. But anyway, thank you so much. I feel like I've crossed paths with many of you. I've worked with some of you. I've performed with many of you, and in fact, in interesting places. And of course, the exciting thing is to actually perform with Joey coming up soon in October. So that's going to be really exciting. Thank you guys for wanting to help Kiss Cancer Goodbye. And what can I say other than the promoter of the event, along with his good friends, he's got some solid people that help him, because whenever you get involved with these kind of things, it's a big deal. But Neil Davis put on Creatures Fest, which was so successful last Memorial Day. It was such an amazing event. Joey knows, and the fans that happened to have been there. Yeah, there was some crazy moments, between the Vinny Ace and Bruce jam, but between Unplugged that Joey did and I was involved with, and then of course Peter Criss and all the performances and the meet and greets, it was quite a memorable occasion. And this year, I know Neil was laying a bit low with what he wanted to do, and then he realized that he did a KISS Cancer charity last year that was like just streaming, and it was in a controlled environment at SIR, a rehearsal place in Nashville. But this time he wanted to go big. Okay, Neil likes to think big, and all of a sudden, at first when he mentioned it to me, I wasn't so sure, because I did have a performance with Grand Funk in Las Vegas on the 13th. So I won't be involved in the 13th, but I want everyone to know it is a fantastic 2-day event, okay? But I am flying in to do that performance on the second night, on that Saturday night, where I'll be performing the Alive 3 show from top to bottom, along with, now, everybody knows Todd Kearns, okay, because he's the guy that's been with me on all of my solo shows in the past, like 5 years. Sadly, both Zach and Brent are not available for this, but I do have some amazing players who happen to be involved with other performances that weekend, which makes it perfect, which is, of course, Joey Cassata, who's so talented. And I know Joey from, ZO2, what a terrific band with Paulie and all. And what can I say other than he's just so into KISS, and he's got besides playing drums great, I know he sings well as well, so he can put on his Eric Singer gloves and go for it, right, Joey? And
Oh yes.
and then I have an unusual secret other weapon, as everyone knows how formidable Todd Kearns is, of course, and he'll be on guitar like he usually is on the cruises with me, even though many of you know that Todd plays bass on Slash gigs, for example, and some other things that he's done. In fact, the first time he toured with, he did that one show with my brother and I on the cruise, he played bass, okay, because we had the two guitars with Bob and I. So Joe McGinnis, who's known from Quarantine, who I've been very close with, it's Chris Jericho's band. Joe is a dear friend of mine, and he's also one of these guys who can play both instruments equally well, bass and guitar. And he's going to be playing bass for me, okay? And I know that for him is so exciting, even though we talk about my KISS era guitar parts and guitars and equipment all the time, because he's in a band celebrating my era of KISS with Criss, But I just know this guy, besides singing great, he's involved with, you showed in the intro, that tribute record, or it's not really a tribute record. It's like if
Classic
KISS did another
78.
album back in 77, right?
Right. Yeah.
What an amazing, when I finally listened to that, when he sent it to me, I was just like, oh my God. And who's singing this one? Now, Joey, you're on that one?
No, I'm not. That's Charlie Benante from Anthrax.
That's right.
Playing drums.
Which is weird too, because it doesn't sound like Anthrax, as you know. It sounds like early KISS. It was amazing. But you all know how great that is. And Joe was a very big part of that album, singing and performing, etc. So, Alive 3, just to give you a little backstory, when Neil finally said, this is what I want you to do. If you can fly in, you supported the charity last time by donating. Actually gave a pretty rare guitar of my brother's, this painted guitar that showed like his career from a pretty well-known graphic arts woman here on the West Coast. Anyway, long story short, once I saw how he was putting this all together and he showed me flights that could work, I realized I got to be a part of it, And then I liked the idea of Joey and Joe. I got the cup of Joes, that's what I'm calling you guys. Okay. The talent, and of course Todd's there. But Alive 3, the reason why I'm setting that up is when I used to have more time and energy to do this, there were many times I went to Australia, South America, Europe, Mexico, and even Canada, where I would just, have a guys sit in with me and play. Now, I jammed with a few of you guys once at an in-store too, which is funny. But when I used to do Bruce Kulick dates, let's say in Chile, I would find, generally the promoter would find the best Chile tribute band, right? And all of a sudden, my mantra for them, learn Alive 3. We weren't going to do every song, but, that was kind of like such a great culmination of my era, non-makeup in the band. Although we did actually play Tears Are Falling, it wasn't included on that. Although we didn't always do Forever, it was included on that. But I think you get why Alive 3, it has one foot in the classic songs that I played it my way with Eric Singer as well. And then, of course, songs from Revenge. So anyway, an Alive 3 performance for me to play for everybody top to bottom is just such a great set list. And I've actually never done that with Todd and my cruise bands, which is really funny. We did the entire Revenge record from top to bottom at Creatures Fest, which is ironic. So it was a worthy challenge. Neil knows music. He plays in a great tribute band too. And he's just such a big KISS fan. He knows everything. So it's just a natural thing to say yes to. So I want everybody to know there's a lot of other things going on. Joey will help out explaining some of it and where to go on the website to get the tickets to see what else is going on. But Neil thinks big, and all the other events besides what I love as, my show, which I know is going to be a lot of fun for everybody, is just that the other things he has planned are terrific performances. And I know Joey's involved with a few of them, probably knows a bit more than I do because I get there, late afternoon, the day of my gig. Okay. At least I have a nonstop, and I have my beautiful wife Lisa with me to hold my hand and be my mental, my lifeline.
You're everything.
Because if you watch my social media, travel isn't my friend sometimes. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone keeps asking, where is it? Sarasota. Where's Sarasota? Well, it's a beautiful city, not far from Tampa, Florida. Everybody can get to Florida. Now, some of the events going to be streaming. Neil will know how that's done, but and there are always going to be some moments where people can contribute to charity. And I know he's just really trying to kill the amount of money. He did very well last year, and his heart's in the right place. Kiss Cancer Goodbye. So I want everybody to, kind of take a look at that. And if you can't get there, to please try to watch what's there, or there's going to be ways to contribute as well. And but it is going to be really an exciting event. Now, Ace Frehley is going to be there, though I don't believe he's doing like a full performance, but I believe he is doing some playing. And I don't have all the details for that, but it's pretty exciting that, of course, Ace is there. Okay. So now there's more artists that are going to be confirmed and talked about soon. So you should get up to date with that next, during the week, actually. So just keep in mind, Neil's got some exciting, surprises coming with some performers. So just keep an eye on that. And now I'm free to play with you guys. Okay. I think I did my promo. Okay.
No, that's terrific.
It was awesome.
That is terrific. Okay, so since we've done that, and I know that you're short on time because you have a video coming out. We're going to talk about that. I want us to get a few questions in before that. I wanted to ask you. The first time you played the Kiss Cruise, when it was you and your brother, right. I'm standing in the crowd. You guys play your show. I turn around. This was my girlfriend's first Kiss Cruise, and behind me are 3 grown men crying.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear that?
No, I knew it was emotional for people, and I know better from getting more used to doing the cruises that Lisa would tell me about the people that cried when I sang "I Walk Alone" on one of the cruises and things like that. So look, that was, and obviously, especially for the first time Kiss broke, the wall came down. It was like the Berlin Wall, falling, where no other Kiss content on a Kiss cruise, which I never understood. I asked Gene like the 3rd year, Gene, why weren't you having her on the cruise? Well, then we'd have to have Ace or invite Peter.
My gosh.
And you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I got it. I mean, at that time they were still developing this thing. Guess what? You do enough of them. How do you keep it fresh?
Right.
Well, what I want to do is entertain them. I'm not going to step on their toes because they have enough material to make up years and what they perform and want to promote. And once they got hip to that, it turned out to be a love fest for everybody. And I'm actually, even though it was always a lot of work for me to perform on the cruise, I'm disappointed that they skipped 23, and it looks like they're skipping 24, to be honest.
Oh wow.
So we'll see what happens, but I love that I could affect men that way. Sure.
Absolutely. Sonny.
Bruce, you were talking about the classic songs, especially around Alive 3. Were there classic songs you guys tried and go, all right, that doesn't work, we're never doing that again? You remember any of that?
Sometimes that would happen with a new release that we go like, can we do When Your Walls Come Down? How would that go over? Or Hella High Water. I'm thinking Crazy Nights because I'm, the video I'm doing is about the tour of Crazy Nights, and they didn't survive. Now sometimes it's too early to introduce a song like that, but I think anything that was presented, you got to remember that there was some real exciting other vintage songs that weren't on Alive 3 that I loved doing with those guys, like 100,000 Years. We only did it a few times, but wow. And then when in 95, we continued, and I'm terrible with the set lists of Kiss. Some of my dear friends that helps archive and work with me on these things, they'll remind me, you did this song in that country. And I was like, you're right. You know what I mean? So, but all that stuff's out there in some of those books. I know there's a great tour book out there that a friend of mine told me about on Amazon by Jillian Gill that I literally bought so I could go through everything and study. And it has a set list from every gig that the band ever did, kind of thing, which is amazing. But I like going deep. I didn't mind playing from Firehouse to 100,000 Years, which I thought was some of Ace's finest lead playing, to be honest with you. So, but I loved it when I'd come up with an idea like, did they ever do The Oath? Okay, you know what I mean? They might have did it on a TV show or something, but they didn't really tour with it one time on the cruise. But then all of a sudden we're opening one of the cruise sets with The Oath. So I always like that. And Exciter, for example, no, did we do Exciter or no? Yeah, the other one I know, Brent always wants to do Danger, I think. And I was like, I don't know. But anyway, I like playing the older stuff. I was never given the edict, if fancy word for you guys, to play it exactly like Ace. Okay, keep that in mind. Tommy is the spaceman, so it's respectful to Kiss and Ace and his role to play all the stuff like Ace. I never had to do that. You know what I mean? Which made my era even more unique, I feel, and special. So that when we delved into Deuce or all right, Detroit has a theme, you got to play the theme. But from that to Dr. Love, we used to do that in Crazy Nights era. The Ritz is a great set list too that I was just looking at because that was part of the touring of 1988. Let me, because you're killing me.
Yeah.
We all know that. You notice that says 87 to 88. Well, 88 was a little bit in America and North America, and then it went over to Japan in April, and then in the months ahead, especially in the summer, we head over to Europe and we start playing some really iconic shows that are well received in Scandinavia and everything. Very exciting. And this video, even though it's only about 6 minutes of video can easily take you 60 hours, of preparation and work, So I'm working with my dear friend, Andrew Scambati, who's a great videographer, editor and everything. And we're going to get this thing ready to go tomorrow. There isn't really like an anniversary date of a start of the tour because it went from, touring a little bit in America and then Canada in 88. But then overseas really is when you talk about Japan and you get into the Monsters of Rock festivals in Europe, Scandinavia. There's even Iceland and ending in Belfast, So it's an exciting thing to talk about. And that's what I'm going to post on social media on my YouTube channel tomorrow. Okay.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I'm excited. Lee?
You see the shirt? You see?
Yes. We need one.
I made these. I'm going to be, I used to wear this a lot, especially in Europe. I didn't have it at the beginning American tour always, but it was something I adopted. So at some point during the Crazy Nights tour, which is exciting. The radioactive suit is well known, which is actually on a mannequin in the corner of this room. I'm very, very fortunate. Oh yeah.
Lee, you have a question?
Yeah, so I didn't realize, if this is true, that you played bass on Live to Win, Paul Stanley's album.
Scroll that up a little bit. You'll see the radioactive suit in the second row. There are some songs Paul really liked my bass playing, and there were demo stuff. So some of those are pillows and t-shirts and the signed t-shirt. I mean, my website's got a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't shop necessarily on a website, but there's great products up there. And this shirt will go up there when I have enough time to breathe and pose in it. Okay, you guys get an practical exclusive today. But anyway, and then those pillows and t-shirts of my gear, my guitars, iconic guitars, are well made by this Guitar Nut Tees company. They do a great job. But there's lots of 8x10s and CDs and stuff. All right, so what was that question again?
That you played bass on Live to Win. I just wondered how that happened. Important, forget Paul's solo records. How about I played bass on Forever? I played bass on Psycho Circus, the title track. Okay. And by the way, my wife made beautiful pancakes this morning for me. I loved it. Oh, and that bobblehead is pure Crazy Nights. Look at that. That's like look at that
Budokan outfit. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
The Star shirt's out of stock. I'll probably get that off of there, and then we'll go for this BK Diamond shirt, I'll call it. Okay, I got mugs. We got it all there. Thanks for showing that. A lot of people don't show the various items in the shop. Okay, but bass playing, I played a bit on Revenge. I did on a couple of tunes there on Every Time I Look at You. Okay. Is that the title? Every Time I Look at You.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the ballads, Forever. I mentioned that. Jungle, I played bass on. Okay. Not all of Carnival Souls. There's a couple more songs. Rain, I played bass on. I got to do a video on that. Just what songs that I contribute bass on. Kiss was very much, everybody should know this. This was not a select. Gene is an incredible bass player. Seriously. I don't need to stroke his ass. Okay. I don't. Okay. He's got enough money and love from the entire world. Thank you, Gretzky, for loving my bobblehead. But honestly, Gene was McCartney and Jack Bruce and all that rolled into one. A melodic lead playing kind of bass player who didn't want to play guitar. He's amazing. Okay. So when I'm playing a rock song like Psycho Circus, I did the demo with Paul. What am I going to come up with? I don't want to be, I don't need to be Paul McCartney. I need to be Gene Simmons. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden I'm on a bum, 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 bum. That's what Gene in my head would play. And by the way, when he's done it live, it's so natural for him. Okay. So I would put the Gene hat on. Now on ballads, he's a little less sensitive. Paul liked the way I was just a little more. That's when I could be a little more Paul McCartney and move around a bit. But I'm telling you, Gene, all I did was, he's one of my bass heroes. So it fit. So if Paul's asking me to do the demo, then the producer, in this case was Bruce Fairburn, he was like, oh, Bruce played bass on that, bring him in. You know what I mean? I'm not credited. It's a ghost bass part, but you get what I mean. So it's always been like that. I'm the only KISS-related member on the ballad on Detroit Rock City, the song that Diane Warren wrote.
Oh, wow.
There's nobody, everybody else is a session guy. And Paul said, well, let's have Bruce on bass. Maybe.
Wow.
Isn't that funny? And and none of my basses, because this was a Diane Warren session, one of the most famous, pop rock songwriters, as you know. I wound up playing an amazing Fender rare paint, like matching headstock 63 white Fender bass. It was amazing. I have beautiful basses, by the way. I didn't need it, but it was one of those sessions. You know what I'm saying? And I kept yelling at Paul, let me play guitar on your record. And he just made me play bass on like four or five songs. It drove me crazy. What can I say?
Awesome. Joey?
Yeah, it's so funny, Bruce. People always ask me, oh, what's your favorite era of KISS? And so many people say 70s KISS, but I really think if I was pressed to really pick one, 80s KISS is where I always wind up listening to. I of course, everyone loves 70s KISS, but I think, and I think you've done it recently. I think you've breathed so much new life into the material. And I think probably starting with the cruises and you guys doing all the solo stuff, I think that 80s KISS stuff has really gotten such a new life with everyone. Maybe because they didn't know it before, or maybe because they heard it live and it was such a different animal live that, they can appreciate the songs more. But me learning, just starting to dive into this Alive 3 set list to really learn stuff. And since I've been playing with Jericho in quarantine, it's gotten me really to dive into these songs, to learn them, not just listen to them and goof around with them. And I never realized how complex some of them are.
Oh, yeah. Well, most of KISS is. KISS is not keep it simple, stupid. It just isn't, It's not at all. And I wave the flag for my era, and thank you. And you as a musician who knows a lot of it, you realize all the layers and what hard work we put into it. Now, it is hard. A 70s thing is more like a garage band version of, and I don't mean the app on Apple products, okay? I'm talking about, it's just go for it. Guys that are just trying to, it's all spit and attitude. And that's what the earlier KISS was. And there were certain years that it was just obviously golden and magical, okay? But it doesn't mean just because the clothes changed and Gene didn't look quite as, he was not the demon anymore, et cetera, that the music, was that inferior. Now, I noticed age groups matter. I know this from my cameos. I was during the pandemic, I did very well on that. Thank you all. I think I had to do one for you,
Did one for Stunny.
Yeah. But the point I'm making is that if you're in that 50 to 60 range, you might have been turned on to KISS really from my touring days, not your older brother would have seen the original KISS. And just like the way I've delved into Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, where I want to know every era from the first album that they did to when they were getting older, I find that these KISS fans, for me to have these 16 to 20-year-old fans, especially overseas, that are just like, I love you so much. Tears Are Falling is my favorite guitar solo ever. Please play forever for me, et cetera, et cetera. What? They weren't even they weren't a cell yet. You know what I mean? They weren't anything, So it's just amazing. So you got the age group that jumps into KISS, supports my era. And then you have, of course, these other people that get turned on to it. That's why all these years that I've been celebrating and waving the flag for the non-makeup years. And believe me, I take the pot shots at where they're deserved. But the point is, there's much more terrific stuff to rave about. But all that spotlight that is on them every time they play a sold-out arena with that multi-million-dollar production, well, they're doing Deuce, and then all of a sudden on the screen, what's that? Oh, those guys are without makeup, and they're making the moves. There has to be some of that bright light gets thrown over to the other years of the band, okay? And then on occasion, maybe 10% of a show might be a song that is known from my era. I realize they don't concentrate on that, and that's okay. But thank you for pointing out, Joe, the solidness of
those performances from the terrific guys that I've been performing with, from Todd, Zach, and Brent, and then all that lives on YouTube, of course. And yeah, it's breathed some light, made it fresh again. Absolutely.
Bruce, I know that now we know that you got to go in a few minutes because you have a deadline of something that you have to do. I had one more question for you, and then I have something that I've done with Gene Simmons and I've done with Doc McGee. It's a lot of fun. Our viewers love it. We're going to get into it. My last question before we do that is, I'm sitting on my couch today watching TV, and it occurs to me, you've known Paul Stanley for a very, very long time.
Right.
So you never got to experience the not knowing what Kiss looks like without makeup. Did you? You follow what I'm saying? Your brother and you knew Paul. So were you? Do you feel like you missed out on that in some way?
Well, look, obviously knowing that my brother befriended him, because of the audition and then running into him in studios. I mean, New York City is a big place, but when you're in that scene where you're playing music and performing, all of a sudden you're going to cross paths in recording studios, and all of a sudden Bob bumps into them, and then of course Alive 2 was born, that studio track side, right? And then all of a sudden Bob's friends with him. All of a sudden he's renting. Paul moves up into a much more expensive apartment, but he didn't want to lose the one that he was in. My brother's renting that one from him. Then all of a sudden, hey, Bruce, Paul wants to go to Private's, a very cool club in that era, the late 70s. Well, why don't you join us? You know what I mean? And then let's go to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind. By the way, Paul fell asleep at the theater, watching this. That was a long movie.
Come on.
I didn't judge him. But yeah, all of a sudden, Paul was actually pretty mellow and quiet. It wasn't, he dressed impeccably, looked amazing. You could tell that he felt comfortable with my brother. He didn't really know much about me, but I knew how to behave. I wasn't going to go geek out on him or anything. So I did know him without the makeup. And to be honest, what's more interesting about your question is, no, I didn't know them with the makeup on until Bob and I go to see them in '78. I guess that was the Destroyer tour. Am I right? Is that time?
I think
right?
so. Yeah,
and I was like, oh my God, I get it. Because I wasn't a makeup fan of Kiss. I was aware of Kiss. I knew some of the music. I liked some of the music, but I wasn't. To me, it was just, what can I do for my music career? I was working with Billy Squire, Michael Bolton, whatever. I didn't get it immediately, and then seeing it and come alive on stage with the stage show. Oh my God, I totally got it. Okay,
totally.
And then years later, I did audition at the same time in '83 when they were looking for what became Vinnie Vincent's role, but I wasn't ready. And they were looking for a guy to go into makeup. You know what I mean? And then of course, or did I get the years right? Hang on. When was Ace kind of falling out? 82 or something? 81? I don't know.
Yeah, right around there.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wasn't ready. But then all of a sudden, if you don't remember the story very briefly, Mark St. John gets the gig when they realize they have to fire Vinny because he won't sign the contract because he's trying to get more money. And that you don't play that game with Gene and Paul. It's not a good game. You don't play the bluff game with people that don't give a shit and don't need you. Okay, that's not. That's business 101. All right, but as you know, Vinny, he plays by his own rules, and that's his right. But you're not going to be in the band. So then all of a sudden they go to Mark St. John, and then I'm looking at that going, wait a minute, that doesn't work. But he doesn't. All of a sudden he has a health issue. Next thing you know, people are telling Paul, I know you've used Bob, but Bruce could do a great job if you need a ghost guitar player. And the next thing you know, I'm there helping out for the Animalize record on a song and a tiny bit on another song. And then don't cut your hair. I'm going like, what do you mean don't cut my hair? I just did a session for you. Who gives a shit? Right. Anyway, next thing I know, I get a call. Mark's ill. You got to come in. Will you go on tour for 6 weeks? And then when Mark's better, and I thought I won the lottery then. Who knew it was going to be 12 years, right? So
that is amazing.
Anyway, but yeah, my relationship with Paul was kind of interesting. So what was that other thing you wanted to play with me?
Yeah.
You've done with Doc. This sounds very interesting. You did it with Doc and who else?
And Gene.
And Gene, okay.
Yeah,
Uncle
okay.
Gene,
So
sure.
these are just rapid fire questions. You're gonna they're 1-word answers. You ready?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
That's hard for me, by the way. I
No,
should tell. All right, go ahead.
It was hard
I'm
for
game, I'm
Gene.
game.
It was hard for Gene. Here we go. Besides waffles, what is your second favorite breakfast item?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Favorite movie?
I have a few, but I want to pick my very favorite. Hold on. I mean, and it's you know, the terrible answer is the fact that it's probably going to be one of the Star Wars movies. But the Star Wars, there's so many of them, I can't think of the title of the one that I want to say. You know what? I'm just going to go with Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Okay,
Nice. Okay.
that's
Yes.
simpler.
Favorite Kiss song to play live?
Oh yeah, that's a rough one. Oh God. Unholy.
Unholy.
Ooh, yes.
Popcorn or candy when you go to the movie theater?
Popcorn.
Okay. Now I was just about to ask this, but yeah, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh man, I'm so into Star
Oh.
Trek now on Paramount Plus. I'm gonna go with Star Trek.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I love the way it's all branched out because I don't just think of the original. I think of everything and all of
Right.
the series. Picard, the newest one, Strange New Worlds. Well done. Okay, Discovery is cool. Got a little weird in the last season, if you know what I mean. Some of the characters, but really great stuff. You know.
So favorite sport?
We're almost wrapped up. I'm gonna say baseball.
Okay, now here
It's
this
a
is the
boring
last.
sport, right?
This is no, actually, you said you were a Mets fan. I
Yeah.
actually had two cousins that played on the Mets, so I'm a Mets fan too.
And years ago, I just got to tell you one thing. This guy Sid Fernandez, who was like a very, very talented pitcher for the Mets.
I remember
during
Sid, yeah.
certain years. Yeah, he was into guitar. He bought some ESP guitars. Next thing you know, yeah, this is a funny story. I got to tell it. Screw my video. I got to. He gets in the
Yeah,
band
that is
with us. He's
great.
my guest at a show, like around the Hot in the Shade time or whatever. Who's that guy? Oh, Sid Fernandez. He's a pitcher on the Mets. And Gene goes, "Oh, he wears a number on his back." Okay, I get it.
What?
He wears a number on his back. I
Where's
get
the
it.
number on his back?
Yes.
Yeah.
have
You
mercy.
know, Lee. You know, Gene. You know, he knows you. He would say that, right?
Yes, he
Yes.
would.
It's a great quote, and I'm like, that's how excited they're gonna get. He wears a number on his back.
Have
I don't
mercy.
know.
All right, last question:
Yes.
Hendrix or Clapton?
No. This is an easy one, and is hands down. I learned so much from Eric Clapton, but I learned so much more from Jimi Hendrix. So it's Jimi Hendrix. Okay.
Nice.
Absolutely. Well, listen,
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming on the show with us. I'm going to be there with a whole bunch of our friends. We're trying to talk Lee into coming.
I'll probably be there.
October
Please,
13th.
you'll enjoy it.
I know I
October
will.
13th and 14th in Sarasota, Florida. You could get your
Right.
tickets at creaturesfest.com. Bruce has a website where you could get his merch. And
Well, it also shows all the dates and it shows the content of everything, you know, and links to the Twitter, Facebook, and all that. Everybody knows how to reach me that way. You can also send me a message through the website, but well, everything's there. And thanks for promoting BruceKulick.com. Yeah.
absolutely.
And thank you. Oh, by the way, I just got to thank, I did read, I know some of these, you know, when we're doing these live things, you don't always see all the comments and you know, depending on the screen that you're doing, but thank you. Everybody's writing some really wonderful things and I so appreciate it. Joey, I can't wait to jam with you. The three of you guys on top there that I see, Joe, I don't remember you as well as Sonny and Lee, of course, but thank you so much for inviting me and thanks for letting me jump so I can get back to something that I promise will be exciting content for everybody regarding an album and tour that we all love, Crazy Nights. Okay.
Woohoo.
So thank you so much for having me. And by the way, that Creatures, you know, Fest related, you know, this Kiss Cancer Goodbye event put on by them. There's ways to be involved and watch and support this charity without going and, you know, buying the ticket, you know, so the people overseas and other people who just can't swing a trip, you know, could still support it. That's right, Joey, right? You know that.
Yep. I'm
Yep.
going to tell them all the information, Bruce.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate
I will.
it. All right. I love you all. Thank you for
Thank
everybody
you.
out
Bye,
there. Keep in
Bruce.
touch.
Bye,
All right,
Bruce.
Thanks.
great.
Bye,
Thank
Bruce.
you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Bruce.
bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
It was awesome.
Bruce is great.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
He's a good
so
guy.
great. So nice. God.
Okay, I'm sweating because we were rushing and trying to get that
So I
all.
just-
Oh, while you're sweating?
Joe's all present.
I was going to
I'm
say
not
it's
wearing a hoodie.
I was going to say it to Bruce, but
Finally.
Andrew, don't mess up his video. Please don't be an idiot. Take some time. Do something right for once in your life. Okay. He's trusting you with the new video for Crazy Nights. Please do something right. You half an idiot.
Now you guys that are watching live, I was really hoping that we were going to be able to keep him longer with us so you guys could ask questions. I promise the next time we'll get him on, we'll be able to get him back. We'll make sure that the majority of the show is you guys asking questions. I'll just have you email them in ahead of time. I was hoping that we'd get a little extra time, but that didn't happen. So, Jimmy, who's running our show as usual, I need you to get ready for. Let's go ahead and do the news. How about that?
Podcast Rock City News.
Joe, hold on a second. We got a new producer. I didn't realize I was off last week. What happened to Jerome?
Jerome's gone, and Jimmy is here.
Awesome.
It worked.
Jerome asked the wrong question. Where's Joey? He's gone. That's
Jimmy is doing. It's so funny. In my stupid ear, I have our draft open on the other page, and every 2 minutes I hear "You are on deck." It scares the shit out of me every time it happens.
Okay, so Sonny, are the picks going through?
Yeah, the picks are going through.
Okay. Did I get my quarterback?
I don't know.
Yeah, where the hell do we see our results
okay.
right now?
All right. So you guys that are watching live, thank you very much.
Okay, so I got it. Hold on. So far, Joey has Mahomes, Madison, Aaron Jones, Terry McLaurin, Higgins, Devontae Smith, and Daniel Jones for some strange fucking reason.
Yes, baby.
Joe has Lamar Jackson, Bijan Robinson, of course, got to have a Falcon, Jonathan Taylor, who doesn't have a team right now, DeAndre Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, and Dallas Goedert.
Okay, so we were doing a football draft with some of you guys that are listeners and viewers, and that's what's really going on right now. We were going to do this on the show, but then Bruce messaged us and said he wanted to come on the show, so we were able to bring that to you guys.
Drop everything.
Every Sunday, for some of you guys that have never watched us, if you're KISS fans, if you're in the KISS Army, 7 p.m. Eastern time, this is where we are. We come and we hang out, we talk for an hour or so, and we have a great time talking about KISS. It's never too serious, and it's always a lot of fun. They were at the news, and I want to mention last night, Peter Criss performed at a charity event.
He looked so cute and good.
We will post the video on our Facebook page if it's not there already. He played Sing Sing Sing. Is that what it was, Joey?
I think so. Yeah.
I've seen him perform that live.
He was grooving.
But yeah, I spoke to Neil earlier, who was there. And Neil was there. He told me it was impromptu. Peter didn't know he was going up. The band didn't know he was going up. Decided last minute, I want to jump up and do a song. And he was, anyone who's seen the video online,
it was really
killer,
great.
just not only in great spirits, looks phenomenal.
Looked sharp.
His playing was great. Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was grooving, man. He was grooving.
That white shirt, the salt and pepper hair with the glasses, like he looked
terrific.
good.
He looked amazing.
Yeah, he looked great.
And he looked very comfortable playing. It didn't look like he was.
Yes.
Okay, look.
He was going.
Is one song. Okay, I get that. I'm not trying to say that he's now ready to go on tour with
But
KISS.
he can do a song.
Right. Don't write me any letters saying Joe's dreaming. It's not about. I'm talking about last night. He played. He looked good. He sounded good. He looked like he was having a great time. That's what we're talking about. We have to get on to bigger news. This was posted online yesterday.
Can't see that.
Evan
Stanley. Yes.
Paul Stanley.
Oh yeah.
Posted, went to see our end of the road opening band at Amber Wild band. Pretty strong. So the rumors, I guess, are true.
Well,
why? Because it's the sun.
A couple of things. One, I love Pretty Strong. I love Pretty Strong. Not fucking great. Pretty Strong. Good endorsement, Paul, for your son. Number two, no official announcement. I mean, is that going to be
That was
the
it.
announcement? If you
Mhm.
guys remember, I think I told you guys I had heard this months and months ago.
Right,
When
we talked about it.
Time I was in LA, Evan was playing not far from where I was, and a couple friends of mine went over there. And the rumor buzzing in the room was that he was doing the last run of End of the Road tour with KISS. And I had mentioned it to you guys that it was a possible rumor going around. I just don't understand. Is that? I mean, I know there's going to be an official announcement, I guess, but that's it. Why not? And now that everyone's buzzing, where's the press release? Do something.
Yeah, but nobody does a press release unless it's a huge band opening for you. Nobody goes out and says, "Oh my God, Joey Cassata's Louis and the Lampshades are going to open for us."
This is a big
That
deal.
way
The
you're-
last
It
two shows.
doesn't happen.
I would think at the very
This is a big
least,
deal, though.
Paul comes out and says, "Listen, everyone, if you guys think I'm putting him on just because he's my son, you're wrong. You're going to be blown away. Wait till you see this, blah, blah, blah." I went to see the End of the Road opening band. Pretty strong. This is a very lukewarm announcement.
Well, do you think that it's possible that Paul, being dad, doesn't want to he's already given him the opening gig, or the band has, or somebody has. I don't know who picks the bands. I'm guessing the whole band, Paul and Gene. What do you think?
Gene and Paul.
I think if one of them has something, I will tell you right now, Paul picked us. When we went on tour with them, Paul picked us, and Gene was just okay with it. And Gene wound up loving us by the end of the tour, but it was Paul's decision. I think stuff happens where someone can bring someone to the fold, and if they agree on it, they agree on it. Obviously, Gene's not going to say no to Evan, but I just feel like, this is a big opportunity for Evan. I know that Paul's going to downplay it and say, well, I didn't push for this and blah, blah, blah. He deserves every minute of it. I agree. But now's the minute, as even if Evan should be coming out with his publicist, or if he's on a record label, whatever he's doing, to take full advantage of this publicity right now, because now is the time to really hype it. Not when you're on the road. When you're on the road, you're already out there. Now is the time to start pushing all this stuff.
Yeah, I will be seeing them October 23rd. I'll be seeing them the 24th of November. Joey, why is that an important date?
Eric Carr's passing, right?
Yeah. Do you think that they'll say anything while they're on stage? You think they'll mention it? No, nothing.
I wish they would. I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
Acknowledge it last time. I mean, there's a chance that I'm going to see this band 4 times before the end of the year. And I went online and I cannot find any music. I went on you. Now it could be somewhere where I didn't look. I just went to YouTube, figured maybe there'd be a video
and there's not.
I didn't see anything.
Well, I know this is a brand new band for Evan. I know he used to have another band, and this band is
The Dive.
very, very right, very, very new. Again, that's part of what I'm trying to say. Maybe they're not doing an official press release and media campaign until there's music out there. But you're right. Every KISS fan that heard this probably went to Spotify or YouTube and went to look for the music, and it's not there. It's a mistake.
And now the one thing that I have seen, and Sonny, you could comment on this and tell me if you think it's a good mix or not. But mostly what I've seen is people commenting and saying, "Isn't this a pop music band?" And is that a good mix for the final KISS shows to have a Depeche Mode kind of poppy or whatever?
I don't think that's the kind of band they are. I think they're a rock band.
And I don't think it matters anymore.
No, I agree.
You got Carrie Underwood opening up for Guns N' Roses. Who
that's
cares?
a good point.
Oh, that's true.
That is.
Nobody
that is
cares.
True.
Nobody cares.
Lee, you've seen the Dives before?
The Dives?
Which was his band before this?
No.
You never saw them.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I really like them. Karen really
Dives.
liked them. Frank, the guy that's doing our producing, he was a fan. So I'm wondering, is it that kind of music? If it's that kind of music, it's still rock. It's still rock. But one of my things is do you think Lee, that they even for 1 second thought, what do you think about getting Bruce out and his band out? What do you think, Lee?
I don't know, but everyone wants Bruce's band. You know what I mean?
Well,
everybody.
Here, the thing with the Painter, what a lot of people don't understand is I think, now that there's another band, it's different. The Painter is another animal because you got to understand when there's an opening band, there's all different gear and there's a different sound man, there's a different block, there's different monitors, it's a whole other setup.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, especially with a show like Kisses, that curtain is there, right? There's not that much room, especially with this new stage show with the pods. I know they're hanging so far over. When they originally announced the Painter, I just thought they didn't have room for the opening band. It would have been too much work to try to wedge everything back on that stage to get an opener in and then move it forward again. It was just easier because the Painter was so far up on stage. It was an easy 1, 2, 3. He walked in, walked out.
Yes.
But now that there's a full band opening, it would shock me if there's, no pun intended.
Shock me.
If there's not another band or something else somewhere on the rest of this tour or the last 2 nights. It would absolutely surprise me if it was not another band like Bruce's.
Now Nick is commenting in the old comment box, and he said that there's plenty of Evan music on Instagram. His current band is harder than the Dives, so heavier than the Dives. And apparently, Nick, I read a comment, and he took some guitar lessons from Evan. That's pretty cool. All right, so we can all take some time and go and look at the new music and see, what we think. I'm the same way with you, Joey. If I would be surprised, if there wasn't an extra band.
Yeah, so I actually, for people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe Evan. First of all, it's Paul's son. God, if anyone deserves the slot, it's him, right? But I think this is an encouraging bit of news because now I do believe it opens up the possibility of another band joining. If we heard the Painter was coming out for the last run, I would say there's no way anything is happening. But now, maybe. And I don't mean Ace or Peter. I'm saying another opener.
Sure, like a Cheap Trick or something.
You guys are such homers. First, there was no band, and everybody wanted a band. Now we got one, and now we need 2. Like, you guys are all homers.
No,
just live with what you get.
To be fair, Sonny is correct. We did at one point say it'd be cool if there was no opening band and they just played, they came out and they started. Okay, so, but now that there is an opening band.
Now
you want 2.
I fucking hate it when Sonny's right.
No, there should always be an opening band. Even if it's someone you don't like. God, they gave me the opportunity to do it. Evan deserves this. Why not?
Yeah.
It's his son. If it's going to open him up to another 500,000 people, if he does X shows, 25 shows, whatever it is, let him open for you. Jesus, I know you don't want to hand him the silver spoon. Again, no pun intended.
Wow. A lot of puns tonight.
But Evan doesn't want any of that either. Evan wants to be his own guy anyway.
Listen, I get it. You want to be your own guy. Evan's got to be 30 now too. At some point, God, your father's Paul Stanley from KISS. It's okay, dude. Go open for him. It's okay.
Yeah. And one of the things is, I know you went on the road. I went to a show here in Atlanta. And we saw him at this little club called the Masquerade. It used to be a big club. Now it's a little club.
Yeah.
And we saw them there with, I can't remember the band that they opened for, but anyway, and that was fun. And so it's not like he just immediately started the Dives and got a KISS tour. He, started the Dives. He did that for a little while. They did bring him on the KISS cruise, and they were a pretty big hit because the music was pretty good. Then he left the Dives and he did some, I want to say it was pop music. And now I guess he's in another band. It's not like he just went, my last name is Stanley. I want to be the band that closes the whole tour or opens the whole. You know what I mean?
And listen, even if he did, so what?
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Wolfgang toured,
Right.
toured with Van Halen. Is that okay? Everyone was mad at that, right? Where's
Right.
Michael Anthony? It's God. It's Eddie Van Halen's son and Alex's nephew. If anyone deserves a spot, it's him.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So we've got this fundraiser coming up. Joey, I want to make sure that we get a little more done. Everybody that's listening, I got 2 things to say before we get started. One, Podcast Rock City is on Patreon. You can get a 7-day free membership to our Patreon if you go and check it out. It doesn't cost you a penny. Try it for a week, and if you like it, you can support us. Number 2.
Hold on. We are working on the exclusive Sonny Pooney Joey wrestling match inside a vat of Twinkies.
Oh,
It's
that's
gonna
right.
be-
I thought it was ding dongs.
Oh, boy, I can't
yeah,
wait.
You're right. We changed it to ding dongs. Right. Sonny had an allergic reaction to the Twinkie. But it's gonna be 700 ding dongs. It sounds terrible.
Oh my
It
In a
God.
kiddie pool.
Wow.
And Lee got it. Look at Lee. And me and
Can't
Sonny are going to
I'm
be
tuning
wearing
in.
sumo outfits,
Yes.
and we're going to be wrestling. And Lee is going to be the ref. It's going to be tremendous. Sign up for Patreon now.
One other thing, if you'll notice, the new T-shirts are on Click T. If you want to get one of our new T-shirts, you could also get a, what is that called? A pint glass.
Yeah.
And we've
Nice.
got, this is what I get I put my coffee in. So it's a tumbler. So if you guys could go to Click T shop and get some new stuff. Joey, how many bands are you playing with on the 13th and 14th of October? 62, right?
I got to tell you, I'm not even positive the number yet. I know at least 3.
Wow.
But it's going to be a great weekend. Neil, like Bruce said, doesn't do anything small. It's going to be, if you're a KISS fan and you loved what the cruise was, meaning like all the oddball songs and songs you never get to hear, that's what this event is. The songs that I'm currently learning right now for the Unplugged set alone. Don't think we're just coming out and doing KISS Unplugged again. We're coming out doing KISS Unplugged 2.0. It's going to be 98% different songs, oddball songs, stuff you've never heard unplugged before. And then, they're doing an Ace tribute. They're doing a Bob tribute. They're doing a Peter tribute, all stuff you've really never heard. Oddball songs that KISS doesn't play and nobody plays over the years. And, featuring guys from Ace's band and Bruce's band and myself and all these great musicians. It's going to be a fun event, 2-day event, opening with the Unplugged. And then the second night, I'll close it with Bruce doing the full Alive 3 again. It's just going to be a fantastic event. And of course, it's for a great cause. It's for KISS Cancer Goodbye. It's a tremendous cause. A lot of this is going to be live stream. It's not going to be fully live stream, from what I understand. There'll be pieces of it live stream. So, don't try to just say I'll watch the live stream. Get tickets. I know tickets are going very fast. So I think if you're looking to come, I would gobble something up now. I heard that the first hotel is
Full.
either already sold out,
It's
right,
sold
or
out.
about
It's
to be
sold out.
sold out. So definitely jump online, go to creaturesfest.com, and you can grab your tickets, book your flights now. It's going to be a crazy fun event. And trust me, Neil will be adding stuff periodically up until the day of. I know Neil.
Yeah. I will tell you guys that the block of hotel rooms that they have, Neil made an announcement and said they were sold out and that he was working on getting another block. And he was also working with another hotel to kind of give him the same rate. So if you guys want to come down there, I'm going to be there. Lee is going.
I'm sure I'll go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Hey, Lee, we talked her into it. Since there's no cruise that we have to drug her to get her on the
Right,
cruise.
exactly.
And one day there'll be another KISS cruise and we're going to B.A. Baracus
No.
Lee and get her on the cruise. Yeah, this is very exciting and it's less than 2 months away.
Oh.
Less than 2 months away. So you guys, if you're thinking about it, I know it's in Sarasota, Florida, so it's kind of in a strange place. to be honest with you. But it's really not. It's really not. It's a big city.
Yeah,
and
you could fly right into Tampa or Sarasota. I think it's a direct flight from most big cities.
I'm driving. I'm going to be driving because it's only a few hours for us, and I'm going to let Karen sleep. I'll just
when you're driving, maybe I'll hitch a ride.
Well, let's talk. We'll work this out. Don't worry.
Oh, look at Joe.
I think we may be driving Jeff Trott down too. So our buddy Jeff Trott wants to go.
Oh, is Jeff Trott bringing any expensive merch that he would like me to sell for him?
No, nothing.
$20. $20
or 20 or 40. Yeah.
Have mercy. Anyway, listen.
Disgusting.
Anything else that we want to talk about? I'm very excited about this new video that Bruce is releasing tomorrow. I wish I would have known about it beforehand. This way we could have maybe even had Andrew on to talk about it, but maybe another time.
No, we will never have Andrew on, please.
Andrew, sorry, Cutie's out. That's what Joey said.
I think I don't think we spoke about this on the show yet. I just want to say, Sonny Pooney is a real piece of garbage. He scheduled this draft. And he wanted it to do, and any of the fans out there who are involved in this draft, I see some of the comments are right. He scheduled the draft. We're doing a fantasy football draft, and Pooney's like, "Oh, it's going to be great! Sign up, sign up!" We all sign up. He texts us early today. By the way, the draft is going to be live during the Bruce Kulick interview. Get ready. What? If this is not a setup, Pooney had his whole thing drafted already. He's been doing 90 hours at Kohl's, and he does nothing there. Sitting in front of his computer, drafting his team.
Looking at Facebook.
He's got 12 computer screens going at once, doing his draft. I know what he's doing. This is a setup if I ever saw one.
Yeah, and when he mentioned
the world is full of suckers.
Oh my God! When he mentioned the football players, I didn't hear any of the ones that that were at the top of my list. I literally made a list.
You had to get somebody because how many people are in the draft?
I drafted. I drafted. I know I didn't get either of my quarterbacks. I didn't hear either.
You got Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you got Lamar Jackson. There you go.
I'm not even sure who that is. Did I pick him?
Oh, forget it.
My first pick,
Don't worry. He's going to play for at least 3 games before he gets hurt, Joe.
Have mercy. My first pick was whatever that guy's name that's on for the Jets now.
Oh, the guy
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Never mind, Pooney.
But he's
go online. You can still get him.
He's still there, Joe. He's still available.
I don't understand why he didn't get picked.
Because he's 83 years old and he's on the Jets.
No. Okay. Anyway, all right. Let's close this out. Thank you guys. Thank you, Bruce Kulick, for coming and hanging out.
Yay,
all you guys that were here today and watched this show from beginning to end, man, we love you guys. On our Patreon, we go after we do this, we do 20 more minutes and we post it on Patreon. I don't know if Joey's going to be able to make it today, but if he can, that'll be great.
I'm here. Wait,
okay.
Is Sonny going to be here?
No.
Okay, I'm in.
So brutal. But every Sunday at 7 p.m., we're here hanging out and talking KISS. And we love it when you're here with us. You guys obviously know that you can talk in the comments and chat amongst yourselves. We add you to the show with your comments. It's a lot of fun. It's the best part about being in the KISS Army on a Sunday is hanging out with Podcast Rock City Live. I'm really starting to get excited about about Joey's performances.
God, I have so many songs to learn. Oh my
in
God.
October, it's going to be so much fun. And I know you guys. So many of you guys during the week, you message me and say, "Hey, thank you for doing these shows. They're really fun. I look forward to them every week." It's our pleasure. We love doing this. We love to hang out, the four of us, and just talk. And, and when we go off the air, it doesn't stop. We stay on for 20 more minutes sometimes just to catch up and see what's going on. And the insults fly. It's amazing. You guys check out our Patreon. It's free. It's free. And I'm working on a deal with Click Tees to maybe work a giveaway out with that. And like I said, 7 days free for our Patreon. Give it a shot. Sonny, do you have anything to add?
Thanks for listening, and it was nice to have Bruce on.
Absolutely. Joey.
Yeah, just go to creaturesfest.com, check out the website, try to get your tickets ASAP. Trust me, this is a smaller venue than Creatures Fest was. This is 100% selling out within the next few weeks. Also, new episode of Top 5 this week. Top 5 Metallica songs. This was a weird one and a hard one.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on. Did you just rip off Sonny's show for doing that? I don't understand what's happening.
What show?
Yeah,
that's brutal. I
What do
just
you-
sent
Ours
in
isn't
my
out
top
yet.
5.
Ours
Oh,
isn't
okay.
out
All
yet.
right. So no, you didn't.
I'm confused. What are we talking about?
Sonny's show did a favorite Metallica songs. That's why I was like, in my mind, I expected you to go, and Sonny's on it.
Sonny has a show?
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
only half of it is good.
Nice.
Lee, do you have anything to
Nice.
add?
No, that was a great show with Bruce. What a I love him. He's so nice.
He's so nice.
He's just the nicest rock star.
He really absolutely is. You know what I'm going to say. We love KISS and we love KISS podcasts, most of them anyway. And you're going to hear the commercials for all the ones that we love right after this in 3, 2, 1. Peace.
Peace.